Okay, it's been about a good week since Deltarune chapter 5 came out, and all I gotta say was that it was the best chapter to come out yet. Yeah, maybe there were like little flaws, like maybe Asgore not showing up enough, or maybe the Shadow Crystal boss, aka Pink, not really having as much like impact on the story. I'm gonna be honest, it was still pretty much the best chapter in the game so far right now. Heck, especially since Toby Fox said this is literally the last fun adventure before things get serious. So I mean, yeah. Like, I swear, this dude Toby Fox really just looked at Silk Song and just copied and pasted it, bro. He copied and pasted Silk Song. And I swear, gameplay wise, this is probably the best chapter so far too, for like gameplay wise too, because like it's Silk Song. It's Silk Song. But for this, I'm gonna just focus on one special guest that I've been interested in, and that is Pink. Now there's been a lot of criticism around Pink for being like not having that much of an impact on the story as the other Shadow Crystal bosses. But just because she doesn't have that much of an impact doesn't mean that she doesn't have any though. And I feel like people need to consider that though. Media literacy. We first meet her at the beginning of the game before Chris creates the flower shop Dark Fountain. You see her as like a anime girl that's sitting on top of Asgore's truck. And there is a Sean reference, a reference that Sean made to her, aka the last Shadow Crystal boss, but I don't really know it specifically, but I know he referenced her though. Then fast forward till near the end of the game, and then you have her. You use that secret key you buy from the shop owner to open up that big pink door you see. Once you go in, you do see her interacting with Orange. And surprisingly, she's actually doesn't have that much stuff going on with her though. She is half lightener and half darkener though, which is kind of what I wanted to get into. She is nice at first until she hears that we're going to seal the fountain, which of course makes her attack us. But it gets much more understandable when you realize that the lightener side of Pink actually basically has gender dysphoria. In the beginning of the game, when you opens the flower shop Dark World, if you go to that house on the left side of his shop, that's actually the lightener side of Pink, aka like the gray ghost side. When you see them splitting back, you see her talking about basically how Asgore is using her toy, which is the Mew Mew toy that you see on his truck also at the beginning, about how Asgore is showing off her body and is really just mad and in a rage about it basically. But this is interesting because during the fights you actually do get to learn more about her though, specifically like the lightener side. If like certain dialogue shows how she actually does have trouble with her body and appreciating herself, because she considers someone's body to be what defines them. And since she really can't love her own body, to herself, she's a nobody. But over the course of the fight, she eventually learns that her and her darkener, aka the body counterpart, both of them have to work together if they want to, well, live, at least for the time before Chris in the game goes and seals the fountain. So when she realizes that her and Body Pink refuse and actually are together, and that's when we win. Really just learning how to love herself, and kinda, if you watch The Amazing Digital Circus, it's basically like Zubul, like Zubul basically. She learned to cooperate with her body so that her body and her can actually live out the way that they want to. In which I gotta give it to Toby Fox. This is a W trans allegory. Though I will not forgive you for that one attack, I will not be talking about. Now, for her impact on the story, while yes, she might not have much of an impact as Spamton, Gerson, or Jevil, that doesn't mean she doesn't have any impact at all. The thing I'd like to mostly agree with is how she kind of like serves as like a mirror for Chris. How, for example, right, during the Spamton fight, not the Snowgrave fight, just the normal Spamton fight, once you beat Spamton, after they beat Spamton, and Chris's reaction to seeing Spamton's like hollow, lifeless body is just scared, because he realizes that could happen to him if the soul just cut off from him. And see, this is where Pink comes in. Where Spamton turned people away, Pink actually let people in though. And yes, she did have struggles, but she eventually learns that in order for them to have the life that they want, at least for now, that the mind and the body have to work together. So that's what her and her darkener side does. Heck, you even see it in the fight. Strings, the same strings that were on Spamton literally appear on her body at some point during the fight. Really serving like the connection between her and pretty much, I guess, Spamton and the rest of the Shadow Crystal bosses. I was kind of hesitant to say all of the Shadow Crystal bosses, since they don't really have strings like Spamton does. So I'm just gonna say Spamton. But as of now, I'd say that since she's the last Shadow Crystal boss, I'd say this is a good ending for a Shadow Crystal boss, and I feel like people underappreciate her because she doesn't have as much impact though. Also because she looks like Auron from Toho. I am curious to see if we're going to be seeing more of her lightener side future chapters. I know it's unlikely, but come on, bro. I need to see, bro. I need to see something, bro. I need to see something. And I'd say, aside from Gerson, she's probably my favorite Shadow Crystal boss yet. But that's gonna be it for this. Y'all can put y'all opinions in the comments. Bye.